So last time I forgot to tell you that I also, of course, add everything and commit it with a good commit message called initiated the project. And then after that, I push everything to my GitLab online. So that's a pretty important thing to take note of, and that's why I put it at the start of this video. So it's the very first thing you see, and you'll definitely not miss it. Now, in this session, we're going to have a look at classes, and classes are, I think, both one of the more difficult things to understand and to work with, especially in the beginning, but also one of the more powerful tools. And I think it's one of those things that most people don't get around to learning, because you really need to, somebody needs to point out to you how useful it is. And I'm gonna show you how it works first off, and I'm gonna make an example here. I'm gonna make a new Python file, and I'll call this the Space Invader class. Add that class Space Invader. I'll initiate this x coordinate, y coordinate, and speed. For instance, I just what a class is. It's a thing that combines two important aspects. One is it has information of itself, right? So if let me just make an example here in Scratch. You do that Control Shift Alt Delete. So the way I used to program all the way at the beginning, I would make a Space Invader is health 100, and then speed 10, and then x position is 0, y position is 0, right? And then I would make one of these dictionaries for each and every single Space Invader that I had have on the screen, so you get a large list, and then each iteration I would update everything. And well, you can imagine that this works, but it's not a very nice way of working. It's a very rudimentary way of working that ends up becoming extremely difficult to keep track of, because if you want to have health, well, it's called health now, but in a week time you come back and you're like, what was the is it HP, is it health, is it hit points, right? And then you have to look everything up. Another thing is you have to it's not nicely put together in one place. So if you want to change the health, right, you're gonna have to do Space Invader health minus equal 10, for instance, right? Is an example, and then you're gonna have to keep track of if the health is less than 0. It becomes very sloppy very quickly. So I'm gonna show you an example of how to do a Space Invader in a class. So we'll say self.x coordinate is x coordinate, and you can guess probably what the next lines are going to be. Self.speed is speed. Now this is very similar to a dictionary, right? You can, if I say Space Invader is Space Invader, what did I say? I said x coordinate is 100. Oh yeah, I also need hit points. Health. Self.health is health. Health is 100, I said. X coordinate is 0, y coordinate is 0, and speed is 0. I can just print Space Invader dot health, right? It's very similar to a dictionary in this sense. However, what I can do is I can make a function. It's called def update position self. And that was my roommate who just came in. So let's get back to this. You can make a function self update position, and you can say self x coordinate plus equals self speed, for instance. Right? And now if I say print space invader x coordinate, and I'll say self update not self space invader update position, and then I do the same thing. I print it again. Plus is speed. Why does this not work? Oh, my speed is 0, of course. Right, 0 plus 0 remains 0. See, now it becomes 10. And this is a very nice way of keeping track of large amounts of interconnected variables. And I think it's something that you should, once you have the basics down, this is one of those things you really should practice with. So I'm going to add a doc string here just to keep it up, to keep myself you know, up, to stay strict, to be disciplined. I'll say space an enemy object in a Space Invader game, an enemy object which can move based on x coordinate, y coordinate, and speed. If health drops below 0, it dies. And then health is going to be an integer, similarly with x coordinate, y coordinate, and speed. Health is going to be enemy health. Yeah, that doesn't really add anything. I'll just do it here anyways. Enemy health should be above 0, otherwise it dies. X coordinate is going to be position on screen, position, the X position, the Y position on screen, and the movement speed of the enemy. And I'll add one more variable actually. Self dot alive is true. So now that's a short example. I'll increase the x position with the speed value. I mean, obviously this is a bit over engineered, but in general I try to stick to this. So in the next session we're going to have a little more in-depth look at how the update position and the get hit function are going to work, and I hope to see you then again.